Hi, welcome. We're gonna do a little something different. So it's been a long, full week of this good stuff. It's Friday night, and I have some new toys, some new little intuitive tools that were calling to me. If you're older like me, you'll remember Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know why, but I was like, I need to get some Garbage Pail Kid cards. Do these though look a little smaller and different than they used to? I feel like they used to be bigger and more like papery. These are very slick, cheaply made, but like the same artwork. And I just got like this variety pack. And I thought, because what came to me, like I've been acting on my intuitive hits, and this was like a big one that said, ooh, those are like when I've been talking, I've started a new series and I've only done one so far so it's not quite a series yet, but I started it about how to harmonizing energies, like how to shift an energy, like see what message wants to come through in terms of that. And I started with my mood map cards because each one's like a mood or a vibe or an energy that and then the tarot might illuminate how to work with it, shift it into something more useful perhaps. And then I thought about Garbage Pail Kids. Well, they're all kind of icky energies, aren't they? Like, ew, I don't want to deal with that, but in a fun way. Like it brings some playfulness, some joy to it. And it's youthful for those of us who were around in the 80s when these were big. And one of them already, oh my God, there was one that stood out in my deck. I won't go into all the details, but that stood out in this deck. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to send that to someone. I didn't end up sending it to them. And then they came in for a reading in my studio. A different person did. And that card was meant for her situation. So there was a reason why I didn't send it to the original person I was going to send it to, because I was just like, nah. But it stood out to me, and it was totally related to this client session this week. And that's been happening a lot. The energies, like I'm picking up a lot now, and it's usually like something that's meant for somebody I'm about to come into contact with. I'm getting all the chills because what a neat synchronistic feeling that is. So what we're going to do is use the mood map, Garbage Pail Kids, and I got this toy today. And I'm following all the things that I love, have always loved, that being magnetic poetry. I was at a store today and I thought, let me just pop over into the game section and see what card type games there are, because I'm always picking up like different things besides tarot to keep practicing this tapping into intuition. And I'm like, of course, there was a magnetic poetry game. And I'm like, I love magnetic poetry. I have some upstairs. This is so today I tore apart all the words because they come in sheets of magnets. And they come with these little trays, magnetic trays, or like metal trays. And each player gets one. And I don't even know what the game's about because I didn't even read the instructions. It was more about using this as what they call a divination tool. People read tea leaves or runes or whatever. I don't even know all the things, but something has been drawing me into YouTube videos, watching people do this. And this whisper keeps calling to me like, you can do this too. And I'm like, how are they even making intuitive hits out of just tossing some things on a piece of paper? And then I did some intuitive scribbles this week, and I don't know why I'm starting to do this. And then I sat it aside because I was like, let me tap into the incoming energy for my next client coming in, just to practice, seeing what kind of aligns with the message from tarot. So before the client gets there, I'm just closing my eyes, and it's just squiggles and moving my hand around on a paper. SYN. Shit you not. It's the first time I've used that acronym. And I don't cuss a lot anymore. Those days are gone. Just don't feel the need to. So, unless that moment, I'm like, oh my God, you won't believe this. I look at it and I read a story in it. And it literally looked like nothing definable, no words, nothing. But a story was there. And so I just thought, let's let go and read a story. And then in my mind, so I read that story and then I put it away. My client comes in and I was like, after the reading, I thought back to that piece of paper and I was like, oh my God, there was so much in alignment between that. So I'm like, okay, that's like the last few days have been me really just so present with whatever's incoming into my awareness. There's a million things that aren't in my awareness, but the things that are like coming in, like I swear, I want to say 90% to maintain some objectivity about it, but I feel like it's 100% of like what's coming in is like pertaining to the next client that's coming in my door to do a reading. It just builds the confidence for me. So thanks for letting me like share that, because I'm new to this. So what I'm going to do, first I'd like to pull a few words, and so this is a whole bag. There's like a ton in here, and I'm just going to like mix them up a little bit. And I don't want to pull too many, because I've already played around with like what it feels like to pull like too many. Like it was just like a starting point. Okay, so what do we have? And I'll hold it up. For a long time, peril. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my gosh. This is kind of the way it broke out. Okay. Look at that. For a long time, peril, kill or own. You know, the way it came out, because you could rearrange these words, however, these were the ways that I turned them, and then they made that phrase. For long time, peril, kill or own. Immediately what's coming in for me is like what leads to long-term peril, like long-time peril, meaning like the detriment of something, of like mindset, spirit, whatever, is this energy of like, I've got to kill it or own it. And oh my God, I just got such a like, ooh, not the good kind of chills, where it's like good because it resonates, but not good because that's an energy of like, you know, oh God, it's like primal in our culture of attachment, where it's like the war machine too. It's like nations. It's like I've either gotta kill them all or own it and control it. It's like, ooh, I don't know why that came out. Ooh. Okay, but that's big. The big part of that energy. The little part, meaning ground it down into everyday life kind of reality for us regular humans who aren't running nations. It's still, there's that energy of like, I gotta have it, I gotta own it, I've gotta consume. There's a consuming energy that leads to our long term. It never leads to happiness. It never leads to fulfillment. It certainly never leads to contentment or satisfaction. So I feel like that's where, if we're going to ground it in our reality, that's what this says. And isn't this cute? It's like a little tray. Here, I'm serving it. Okay, so we're going to set that aside in the overall energy and see what it has to do with what comes out of these. This is so fun for me. Thanks for coming along. Okay, so we've got loving. Of love. Okay, well that's interesting, because both we've got killing and loving. These are extremes. And then we've got what energy from the I can't believe I'm doing this. Garbage Pail Kids. I know, I'm ridiculous. Let's see which Garbage Pail Kid. Okay, what are we dealing with? Defy Gravity Greg. This one's not as gross. That's okay though. Defy Gravity Greg. He's missing a tooth. He looks a little strung out. he does look a little strung out in his eyeballs. And he's like holding himself up on a tiger swing. So it's literally defying gravity. What are all these? These are wildly different energies. Oh my gosh, this is fun. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the tarot. Okay. And keep my water bottle close. I am thirsty today. We have 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, 4 of Cups. Ooh, okay. The 7 of Wands. This is immediately what's coming to me about this overall energy of the 7 of Wands. It's very much a defensive stance. And I think that feeds into this energy of kill or own, because it's like this, oh man, there's like definitely attack mode and somebody's on the defensive. It's almost like attack or be attacked, kill or be killed kind of energy, because this is on the opposite side, like, oh, they're coming at me, so I better like be the first, you know, kill or be killed. I don't know, we'll see what plays out here. The 8 of Pentacles is like, okay, I'm just going to read it forward. 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, 4 of Cups. So there's something about it's like the work. 8 of Pentacles is like doing the heads down work that'll lead to something. But it's like, don't get distracted. Don't get pulled off course. Keep doing the work that will lead to something, some good outcome perhaps. The Queen of Swords is a little bit like no BS kind of. She speaks her truth, and she sees people, she kind of sees behind the masks of people. So part of her is like come close, I'm welcoming you in to my sphere, but just know I don't put up with BS, and I'm going to see right through your BS. So you better be a truth-telling individual, because I'm going to see through it if you're not. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is like this gift of clarity. So there's something here about like using that gift of clarity and approaching things in a no BS way. I don't know if that's to work through something or to what can you do to soften that energy, perhaps. We'll check. And then the 4 of Cups is this, I'm like not satisfied with the gifts of spirit. And remember when it's like that consuming energy, it almost feels like, you know, when you're consuming, it's never enough. You're never satisfied. So that seems to be pertaining to that as well. So I wonder what this has to do with defying gravity and loving. Because defying gravity is almost like this belief, I don't know, there's like a positive spin on this garbage pail kid where he's like, I am so, like, he's like the ability to lift himself up. It's like magical. It's like to lift him up out of the weightiness of this heavy energy, because gravity, it's like when something has gravity, it's like, oh, it's holding us down. And it's like he's doing that. Like maybe there's an energy of love does that. Love defies gravity. Love is the opposite. And it really isn't the opposite, but it's love is, well, actually it is the opposite, because why are we in this kill or own mentality? I've got to consume things. Because there's fear underneath all those big negative energies, right? And love is the opposite of fear. So it's like, how do we address like war, love? These are like, why are these energies so big? It's like love is the antidote to like war and consumption and attachment and just pure evil. And I don't use that word much because it's kind of big. And it has a lot of, there's just a lot attached to that. It's a loaded word. So let's go. I kind of want to bring in a loving energy already with these paws tarot, the cats. Let's see what we're dealing with. Okay, 7 of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands, Strength, and the Magician. Wow. So there, if I do read this as like that defensive, like I better like attack or be attacked kind of thing, it's coming from a place of weakness. It's out of strength, knows I don't have to attack to win this argument or whatever it is. And so that there's strength showing up right here. Bookended by the Magician and the Knight of Wands. I want to clarify that further. Because how does it relate to... It is almost like this. This is tapping into that loving energy to combat what makes you need to feel like you have to lash out first because you're so weak internally that it's like you wouldn't be able to withstand the attack, from a character perspective. Let's take it into the human from a character perspective. So this is saying, well, to counteract that energy out of love, it does take strength. And the Magician is like, you have to anchor that in. You have to manifest that love, that strength from the inside. The Knight of Wands is he's like, oh, he is passionate and purpose-driven. And he takes action based on those things. And so there's something to do with like acting out of love is what counteracts that war. It's almost like it's coming in because there are a lot of protests happening tomorrow. Apparently, I've heard about. I live under a rock, so I rely on other people to inform me. I pick up on the things that seem important to me. And so it reminds me of that protest energy of like, but that happens out of love. People want change. People want to counteract these negative forces going on right now. And so this is like protesting out of love. And what's happening with those protests that stood out to me was like people are saying it's a non-violent protest. So if you see violence, report it, because it's not coming from our side, and it might be somebody else trying to sabotage our efforts by saying we're the violent ones, because that's happened in our past, right? So I don't know why that's coming through. It feels all related. That love is the answer. Love defies gravity. Love can do miraculous things like the Magician. Oh, I got the chills. Okay. That's what this is about. That's how we shift this energy. What's the Eight of Pentacles have to do with this, though? I'm really curious. Okay. This is like this energy here of, well, how do I, I look out and I'm like, how can I make a difference? Man, is this protest energy? This is interesting. Yeah, because how do you work with those big energies of war and killing and evil? It's weird. It's like love defies all that, but you have to really believe it. It's magical. Okay, that's what we're going with. So the Page of Pentacles is here in the middle. It's like this messenger of like a successful start to something, like whatever this is for the success, like for the betterment of something. The Three of Wands is saying, well, when I look out there, it's like this threshold of like, I want to like affect change. And the Eight of Pentacles is saying, well, you do that with like, just do the work day in, day out. It's like steady wins the race, because this person is not getting veered off course. They're saying like, and let's keep with the protest analogy. It's like protest, protest, protest. Don't back down on this effort, because that's the only thing that's going to counter. It's the only thing we can do in love, is to say, we want change. We want change. We're not okay with what you're doing. We're not okay with what you're doing. And it's like, if we keep showing up, maybe they'll pay attention, and maybe it'll build the momentum to say, to prove to other people, like, we can do stuff out of love. We can have big change in the world, but we've got to show up and do this work day in, day out. It's not like one big protest and then we're like, yay guys, we did it, let's go home. That's not how it works, right? I say that having not been one to put myself out there and protest. I have attendance of things, but I'm not the one leading the charge. So I say that with like, humility. And then the Queen of Wands, she's another manifester. And she does it, she's like, has that strength of character. She trusts in herself it seems like something about trusting in herself to show up in love. That's interesting. We'll set that aside for now. And then we have the Queen of Swords, like we talked about. No BS. Got the Hierophant, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles, which is funny. The Seven of Swords is like that deceptive energy that she sees right through. And the Hierophant is like this teacher. Like there's something to be learned here through taking care of people and equity, equality. Not things being equal, but what feels like, I talked about this today and it's coming up again. It's almost like she's very, I keep wanting to say no BS, and because she cares about the deeper things, not just like, I don't want surface level crap, so take off your mask, let's do real talk. And so she's the one who's like, tell me what you need, I can provide. Tell me what you need, I can provide. And it's like just what you need, like a just enoughness and not an excess and not less than. Because what you need is not the same amount of what they need. If you give them more, does that make you feel like you got less? No, you still feel good because you got what you needed, and you're happy because they got what they needed, even if it looks imbalanced, like they just needed more of it to get to the level of your comfort. Okay, so that's what's coming through here, and the Queen knows exactly, it's like she does that for people. So it's something about like providing and caring for people it's like a teacher. So it's almost like maybe back to that protest analogy of like, it's when I had that feeling of to prove, like to inspire others, that's the Hierophant coming through. Like this is doing that work and like feeding people, filling people up and inspiring, and it takes like different amounts of that for different people. And this energy, it's like we need to do that for each other. The Six of Pentacles is like this reciprocity feeling. We need to do that for each other. It's like the Course in Miracles I'm doing. A miracle is like, I temporarily have something less of something, and you have temporarily more of that thing. And so therefore you give me the overflow freely, and it costs you nothing, and yet it's such a blessing, a miracle for me. And that's, oh man, that's what's coming through here. Is this is what we do for each other, and it's we learn from each other and we teach each other. So this time I'm the student, you're the teacher. Next time I'm the teacher and you're the student. There's like the cycles and the reciprocal relationship of that. And the swords are like thoughts and wisdom and learnings and teachings and speaking and communication. So there's something here about inspiring others through that and showing through our actions that we can take care of each other. And that's love, defying everything. Oh my God, I was talking about that at dinner tonight, about that. Like, this, okay, when something goes to such an extreme, and I wonder if that's why this is coming through. This is an extreme energy that a lot of us are feeling in our culture right now, right? In our everyday life and politics and what's going on in the government. And like things keep getting taken away. And then it's like having us rise up and say, wait a minute, we're not okay with that. And then the more we do that, the more we can inspire others. And it's like when one thing goes to an extreme of like taking everything away, and all of us are like, well, then we can't feed ourselves. What do we rely on? What government systems? Blah, 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 blah. am like always forever optimistic that this is going to be a hard time to go through. And maybe in the end, whatever that end is, or along the way, I already see it happening actually, like community gardens, and like instead of buying the thing because it's so expensive, let's reach out and say, can I borrow that? And like there's trade, there's gifting, there's crowdsourcing, there's all these things happening where we're now, well, can't rely on all that, it's all going away. So let's come together like we did in the olden days, hundreds of years ago, when things were simpler and we, things weren't so disposable. Oh, I can just buy another one of those. No, things cost a lot and they were built to last but longer. And we traded. Like, here, I'll give you some eggs if you let me use your rototiller. Like, whatever, I don't know. So anyway, I feel that's the optimism part in me that says when one thing swings to that extreme, we come together even more, because that's what's trying to pull our footing out from under us. And it's like, no, we have each other's back. So that's the inspiration I see coming through here. And there's no more deception. There's no more BS. We're getting real with each other, like heart to heart. Okay. That's the energy that's going to counteract that. That's how we shift that or harmonize that energy. I'm talking big scale here, but you can imagine what this might mean in daily life, right? This like us versus them mentality. And it's like, this came up again tonight. It's like us versus them is mob mentality. When we're one-on-one with each other, we connect heart to heart, don't we? We see the best in each other. It's when we start to get into groups, humanity gets weird. We really do. So King of Cups, 5 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. So this is the Ace of Swords. It's like that gift of clarity. I think just knowing that that's how it works. I don't know. This 5 of Swords. Okay, so we have the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Cups here. So this is ultimate like happiness, satisfaction, growth, like personal growth. King of Cups leads out of his heart. That's that loving energy that's going to defy gravity, that's going to lead to this. Like, look at this. This is the card of us supporting each other in community, like building those community gardens, have intentional living communities. Oh man, doing co-ops for groceries, like growing our food and working taking turns making meals and gardening. And oh my God, this is exactly that energy coming through again. And it's doing it out of love and being able to support the people who rely on us. The king, the ruler of his people, he does it out of love. And the people are like so grateful because it's like, we can rely on you and trust you that you're doing it out of a good intention. And the 5 of Swords right here in the middle it's like whatever that, it almost feels like that a bigger, like if we're going to read big, the 5 of Swords is like that conflict and woundedness, like wounding others, feeling wounded. What are we going to learn from that? And it's saying like, and again, there's a learning with the Hierophant here. It's like, this is what we're meant to be learning in this point in our lifetimes. That's why we're all here, I think, at this point in human history. It's like to really come face to face with this old archetypal energy that's just, it's like karmic energy, like that's woven through our whole history of humanity. Kill or own, consume, attack or be attacked. Like we've got to act first to like gobble up the earth's resources so no one else can have it. That kind of energy. And it's saying that's what we're meant to learn from it, because there's a deep learning with the 5 of Swords. It's like the spark, because 5s are like meant to change in numerology. It's like temporary energy. Now temporary might be like dozens of years long or hundreds of years long in our human history, but it's something that we're meant to learn from in order to step into these energies of supporting each other out of love. And that's that learning, that divine learning. That's why we're here to do all the chills, you guys. Why is this such a big energy reading? Usually they're not so big. Okay, 4 of Cups. Let's bring it home. We got the moon, the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. I am so thirsty because I think all I did today was drink tea from the same tea bag for 12 hours straight, and still by the end of the day, it was tea flavored. Even though I kept just like using the same tea bag. Oh my God. That came through in this energy, like not being disposable, but getting the most out of something. I just love synchronicity. Okay. So the 4 of Cups is like, what am I refusing? It's almost like either refusing to accept about this, or I'm not satisfied, or I'm a little apathetic. Like, it almost feels like, what's going to help me shift this energy so that I become like inspired about it? This person's not inspired. So it really is in opposition to this like, this is what we inspire each other into, this loving state. So how do we shift out of this apathy that we feel when the world, some people are like, the world's going to hell in a handbasket right now. And it's like, and here we are like, well, what can I do about it? Well, you can go do the 8 of Pentacles every day and show up for those protests. But, you know, I was talking, this came up a couple times this week too. It was all like leading up to this reading. Apparently it's like, they actually said almost the exact same thing. 2 people this week said something along the lines of, well, like this idea of not everyone needs to write letters into like Congress people or whomever to change minds. Some people are really good at it. We need a bunch of people to do it, but we don't need everybody. We need people on all fronts. Whatever your strengths are. Where are you? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see me pointing to the strength card. Wherever your strengths are, that's where we need you. The letter writers, yeah, we need you. And maybe send 10 letters each, you know. And that came up twice this week. It's like, because apathy, the idea that, well, I can't do anything. I'm probably not going to put myself out there and protest when I want to help, but this is too big. How can I do it alone? Well, it's not alone. We're in community with each other. And that's when love starts to defy gravity, is when it's in big numbers. And it's almost like this compounding effect, like it's greater than the sum of its parts. It's got an emergent quality. Something else comes out of all of this that we couldn't even imagine. 'Cause it literally defies, it makes no sense when you get that much together and that big of a momentum, and like it feeds on itself and inspires people in so many unexpected ways. You're like, whoa, I never imagined this movement could have turned into that. Or this moment is a movement, as Hamilton. It's not a moment, it's a movement. It's in the Hamilton language. Thinking about government, huh? Oh, I'm getting all the chills. What's going on, guys? This is big. And I don't talk about politics, so it's like I don't make political statements. But I wonder if it's meant to come through. So anyway, how are we going to shift out of apathy? This 7 of Pentacles is a little bit like that apathetic energy of like, I've done all this work. It still doesn't feel like enough. It's overwhelming. How do I hang in there to see it come to this fruition from the 7 to the 10 of Pentacles? I need patience and persistence, because I need to get from the 7 of like, I planted all these seeds. I've been like tending to this garden, and it's still not what it could be, what it should be. You know, should pay attention to that word. And then it's like, how do we get from this to moving into gotta do the daily work? Gotta cut through the BS, gotta inspire people, gotta follow our this divine like purpose, like through clarity, lead the charge. That like it's like this is the learning one of those old energies of like conflict. What are we learning from that? And then this, like, what are we meant to be doing in this lifetime to move through that conflict energy? And so how do we take like our specific gifts? Like, I'm not the letter writer, I'm not the protester, so what can I do in this movement? And get out of apathy and out of that like woe is me, I've been working so hard and this is all I got to show for it, into something else. We're going to clarify this further. Oh my God, we've already gone 35 minutes. Yee! Okay, the moon is here with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is ultimate, like, it's too much, it's overwhelming, I can't do it. And the moon is like, well, something needs to be illuminated big time. This is big energy to move through. I think I have to go into an extended on this one. I did not anticipate that because I'm tired and want to go to bed. But this is too big to stop. And I don't want to go too long in this original, the first part of the reading. So follow me over to the extended if you want to find out how the world turns out. It's just that big, that's all. So anyway, we're going to see how love defies gravity. How are we going to move into that energy, like as a collective? This is like, how do we get the collective consciousness into that belief? Okay, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you. Bye.